Good evening, this is Kuro. Got take two here. Got a tier 8 game in my Leningrad. Got my enemy Lexington. No enemy radar. Benson and Moss are detection threats. And this is a game in Leningrad. And this captain, this is just straight Russian gunboat captain. No concealment, no nothing. Um, Probably the closest thing you can get to a Tashkin or a Kaba at tier 7. But gonna talk briefly about positioning because right off, there's areas in this map that even though I'm a DD, I don't want to go. My build just precludes me from going there. And the first one is B cap. Yes, there's an island there, but I'm not really going to be that effective if I'm sitting in B cap, trying to hug an island to avoid being detected. It's just not going to work out, especially with the CV in the mix where he can just, come by with rocket planes, Tor bombers, and everything else and just really make trying to hide behind an island a nightmare like that. CVs really have destroyed the island camping meta in this game, finally. So, instead what I'm looking to do, I'm looking to go to a cap where I've got some open space to work with. Could be C cap, could be A cap. Since we have a low yang up there at C cap, I'm just gonna come down here to A cap and work my trade. So as I'm pushing in here, I am you're gonna see me, just start dipping steeply into the cap. And what I'm using is basically the terrain and cap configuration to help me out and negate my ridiculous concealment. And I'm using, the cap circle as an indicator if there's a DD or something inside the cap. Now, I do get caught here by the CV. He's instantly pops up headed hard for A cap. That's going to kind of spoil my torpedo run that I was planning on. And I'm just gonna smoke up here. I should pop AA here, but I didn't. That's a minor misplay. The hood does take a shot at me. He gets spotted, and boom, instant double fire. I'm not wild about being in my smoke right now, but with a battleship with his DCP on cooldown and nothing having really touched A cap, I feel like I'm okay. There's no real DDs that have the torp range to, come all the way out here to get and be outside the caps and still be able to get torpedoes in on me right now. I mean, my torps are 8 kilometers. Benson torpedoes are somewhere out here, and that should give you an idea how safe you are. I do poke, outside the cap, see if there's a cruiser or anything outside it. Nothing seen. Just gonna take some more shots at this hood. And argument could be made. I think that I left that smoke maybe a little too soon. But I do have the CV coming in with torpedo planes. Excuse me. Starting to run out of steam early today. CV's going for me with torpedo planes, and really all I'm doing here is just speed juking the CV. A DD that's doing this is so hard to predictively torp. It really is almost a waste of torpedoes. So unless the DD's not paying attention, it's really going to be difficult for you to try to actually land those torpedoes. Now, I do only have one ship with me, the Vladivostok, and at this point, I'm pretty sure it's only the enemy CV is my primary threat here, and 3 battleships. So, a lot of food in a CV that I gotta kind of work around to get to my food. So here, I think in hindsight, well, in hindsight, I definitely know I should have waited a little longer on these torps. They are only 8 kilometers, but Tirpitz is a fast battleship. And I do think that if this Tirpitz would hold this angle, I do think that I would hit him. Just wiggling the butt. That's something that really agile ships with like Leningrad can do. You can kind of swing the stern of your ship outside of the the real nasty drop that they're trying to get you with. He does finally land a solid hit on me there, and it's unfortunately, but that's the way it is. I mean, even torping that far, 11 kilometers away from the Tirpitz, almost scored, the one hit, and that's mainly because as soon as he got in the cap, he kind of turned out, slowed down a bit. Now, one thing that I want you to look at, watch what I'm doing with my aiming point. You see how I'm clicking it and I'm dragging it from the bow back to the stern of the ship? The Tirpitz doesn't have any fires on his ship, so what I'm looking to do, I've got relatively high fire chance. I'm going to pause it here because I'm going to switch my aiming. What I'm trying to do is there's 3, maximum 4 zones on the Tirpitz for me to light a fire. With the location of that fire, it's 4 zones. So as I'm dragging my point of aim down the ship, I'm looking to try to put shells in at least 2 of those zones. The idea being that if I put all 5 of my shells in a volley in one zone, I might not, well, I could get a fire, but I'm never going to get a double fire. Unless I land basically on the the pattern of my shells lands on the demising line of zones on a ship, like it did with the hood early on. Now that I do have a fire on the ship, I'm gonna just change my aim just straight to the front part of the superstructure and try to get a fire on that. You'll notice I'm not pulling, I'm not dragging my shots back or anything. I'm trying to put everything on the other zone. There's my second fire. These are ways to kind of control your fire chance. Initially, it might be beneficial if you have super high fire chance to kind of spread your shots down the length of the ship if you've got good enough aim where you can hit different sections of the ship. That way, you're not going to be, say the first shell in the volley starts to fire, the remaining 5, it's not doing anything as far as actually starting a new fire. So here, gonna try to finish off the Tirpitz. I'm getting pushed by the Richelieu and the hood, so I can't go too deep, just trying to let my guns reach back there. I do get a fire on the stern of the Tirpitz, and I'm just trying to take some final shots. Tirpitz is doing a good job avoiding, and at this point I gotta start taking care of myself because the Richelieu and hood, they're getting too close for comfort. So I'm gonna disengage, gonna go dark, and if you notice I'm up here on the map border. It's not a good place for me. And here we go. Richelieu shoots at me. And if you watch that closely, again, you can see the render delay clearly there with incoming fire alert popping, and then a second and a half later you actually see the smoke from the Richelieu's guns where he's actually shot. That should tell you just how much render delay is built into the game, that this is all solid, you know, solid delay that you can constantly use regardless, to dodge shells and that kind of thing. And that's really how I dodge most of my shells. I'm already, trying to exploit that second and a half where the shells haven't even rendered yet on the screen, and I'm already dodging. Hood's repaired one fire. I put a couple AP volleys into him, switched back to HE. Vladivostok got a fire on him. I got a second fire. I'm just going to switch to the Richelieu. I've got a couple options here. There's so many battleships down here now. We've got a Gneisenau that's pushing down here. The Tirpitz is still running for his life. And I need to make the determination, am I going to go north or am I going to go south and keep fighting it out? Hi! So that quick look around showed me that the hood's super low. I just wanted to zoom in, make sure that he's going to be going down. I see the CV dropping him, so I'm content letting them get the kill on the hood while I focus the Richelieu. Unfortunately, my Vladivostok goes down, and just trying to get last minute fires or anything on the Richelieu. And I'm making the call that with the Tirpitz pushing up, I'm going to try to kite north. Now, we got to turn this down, baby, because we can't have this in the video. There we go. So, this is another case, torping from outside. Pause it next time I look at him. Okay, I'm just launching anyway. 8-kilometer torps, he's at 8.6. He's nose into the island. He's going to back up, and he's probably going to back up more than 600 meters to be able to turn out of that position. So even though I'm outside of my torpedo range, I have a pretty good indication that this battleship isn't just going to sit there nose... Oh, easy. You're okay. Didn't like that scene? But, pretty good indication that he's going to walk right into these. Now, most likely what'll end up happening, this is a horrible torpedo angle, but if you look at him, he's going to have to turn one of two ways to try to get off this island. So I know what's coming. He's going to probably turn out this way, and that's going to open him up to those torpedoes that, most likely if he would just stay like this would go, on either side of him. So, kind of a nasty little ambush right there. You can see he's just starting to turn and open himself up right there. You can see the line moving on the mini-map. Yep, his rudder's locked over, and got a couple torpedoes in there. And I'm looking, and wouldn't you know it, his repair is already back up, so I'm into shooting him. Get a fire, getting ready to go dark. Okay, he's dead. Wait a minute, he's healing. Ain't nothing in this life easy. So, everybody just shot at me. His guns are on cooldown. Gonna try to throw some AP out there, see if I can get a jump on, getting some pens. Not really happening. Switching back to HE. And he finally burns down. So back to the Turpits that has been able to get away, and he's got a couple repairs off, and I'm just kiting away. Now, I've got an issue, and that issue is I'm crossfired right now, and this is not a good place to be. I've used all my smoke screens. I'm under my last engine boost, but I've got the Galissoniere cutting me off this way. I've got the Turpits pushing me this way. Um, Now I'm focusing, you can see up here what the HP is on the Galissoniere. It would be best for me to finish off the Turpits if I can. You're actually going to see me, I'm dropping my speed here because I don't want to be closing with the Galissoniere all that quickly. Um, so I've got some options here. Option one is just to try to stop in place, try to finish off this Turpits quickly, and then, shift my attention to the Galissoniere. Number two, just ignore the Turpits, work on the Galissoniere, and kite north. Or three, uh, you know, kind of reverse my ship, put my stern towards the Galissoniere, and kite north, trying to shoot the Turpits. It'll take probably, I think, with this build, this is a special Russian captain with the enhanced expert marksman. I find it's useful on these uh, Russian destroyers that have slower turret traverse, like Gremyashi, Leningrad. Yeah. Yeah. Hi. Oh, easy. The microphone. Yeah, microphone. That's the microphone. So I'm making the call that if I go to reverse my guns, it kind of gets me out of the crossfire. Um, but the issue is the map border is right here. There's really no room to kite this way and work on the Turpits. So I'm just gonna try to speed juke the Galissoniere while I work on the Turpits, and try to go through that way. I mean, the fourth decision is just go dark and wait for something else to happen, something to change where I can be useful. You can see I'm just reversing here. I love you more. So I do get a fire on the Turpits. Now, with the fire on the Turpits, I'm just going to shift fire to the Galissoniere. He does get hit hard here. So there's a chance that, well, now he is the easier one to finish off here. So try and just, get these shots on the guy. And only got a little piece of him here. He runs out of gun range. Gonna shoot a couple shots at the Turpits while I try to close the distance. Oh, ow. That hurt. Nope, leave the microphone alone. And just tanking through this, and you can see that I'm taking a lot more damage. No, I love you more. I'm taking a lot more damage in this crossfire than I love you more. Now come on, we gotta do the video, okay? Okay. I take a lot more damage in that crossfire than I do pretty much throughout the game, except maybe that one CV drop. And that's the power of crossfire. I can't really control all the different ways. You know, I can't control all of the guys in that, and I love you more. Now, shh, Daddy's working here. Yeah, Daddy's working here. Yeah. So, with the crossfire, yes, Daddy loves you more. No, you don't. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Come here. So, with... Oh, boy. Are we going to be in to take 3? Okay. Shh. Daddy loves you more. Here's a credit card. Yeah. You like credit cards, don't you? Okay, so crossfire. One of the big reasons why people miss my ship all the time is you want a snowman?
No.
Well, you got my credit card. Go get a snowman. Uh, no, no, no. Hold on. Nope, I don't know what those keys are gonna do to this. Sorry, this is getting way off track. But with a crossfire, uh, I'm limiting. I'm unable to limit, the how people are able to look at my ship and judge the direction that I'm traveling, changes in speed, and it also limits the angles that I can turn, where I present, the if I turn. I love you more now. Shh, little potato. Oh boy. Yeah, oh boy. Uh, by turning away, you see all the if you watch the videos, all the shells just landing around my ship. If I would be broadside to that, those shells would be most likely hitting me, and that's just how the gun dispersion mechanics work in this game. You have very tight vertical dispersion compared to your horizontal dispersion. So if you're able to angle away from things that are shooting at you, you're just going to be hit less. And something really thin like a Leningrad is extremely effective at this. Uh, crossfire, you're no longer able to keep the narrowest portion of your ship to an enemy ship, and as a result, you'll end up eating more shells, and they'll also be able to see what direction you're traveling. So, a lot of times, if you just point your bow or stern at a target, they can't really tell whether you're reversing or accelerating, and they will end up, you know, in a situation where they've got to guess what you're doing.
I am more.
I love you more.
I am more.
Yeah, you're making this video way long, baby.
I am more.
I know everybody knows that you love me more,
more.
but it would be wrong because mommy and daddy love you more.
I am more.
So,
I am more.
for the final treat, we do catch the enemy Lexington. I'm just in full damage farming mode at this stage of the game. Um, over half my team is still alive. I know this game's uh, gonna be a victory. Yeah, yeah. Are you trying to say enemy? I know. So this is just greed right here. The CV has shown an interest in killing me this game, and that's sometimes you get to farm some extra damage here and get the CV. So I'm pretty much just ignoring his planes and just trying to focus on getting out as much damage as I can. You're not sleepy.
I am more.
No, I love you more. So that final little treat, really bumped my damage up for this game to 168k, and I'm basically gonna sail in here. I know the Benson's around. Benson's super low HP. Now this is a misplay. It's almost a misplay on my behalf. Um, because I know that Benson's right around where I'm coming. I should have my guns up here already. I love you more. I get detected. I should already have my guns up here ready to shoot. If I did, I probably would have caught this guy. Shh. Shh, shh, shh.
Marco.
Yeah, that's enough. It's probably best you don't spill out Daddy's shirt while I'm on a video. So, that was a misplay on my behalf because I should have had my crosshairs up here in the channel where I could be effective. It's a misplay for the Benson. He should have just slammed on the brakes. Whoa, easy. Yeah, easy. And just shot at me until, no, don't reset Daddy's video. And just shot at me until he picked up the kill. Um, regardless, he was getting pinched by the CV, myself, and the, I love you more. The, the Nueve de Julio, or however you say that. Um, and he wasn't long for this world. But since they were able to pick up the kill, I'm just going to step in the cap, get a little extra cap XP, and then going to sail over to A cap. And this was just a really solid game that I was actually able to play serious, not having a dinosaur on my lap, and it's kind of nice to get one in during the middle of the day like that. I'm gonna have to rewatch this video to see if it's too obnoxious for YouTube or if it's going in the dinosaur file. And of course, now that the video's winding down, she's too cool to hang out with Dad now. So, just closing this thing out. It's gonna end on points. I'm trying to get in here to A cap as quick as I can. Um, but at the end of the day, it's time's gonna run out long before I can cap this. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this game. This really was a fun game. I didn't have. It's just one of those dream games you get where, I mean, you just have food just feeding themselves to you, and it's always kind of fun to get those games where you really can just rack in the damage. And I really did like the. What do we do? 2v3, 2v4, something like that over here. Uh, and you know, pretty much held our ground and killed most of the enemy coming right through A. Uh, really enjoyable game, and this is a ship that if you're looking for a Russian destroyer, Leningrad is a really good ship. In my opinion, it doesn't sync well with the higher tier Russian ships because you don't need expert marksmen on.
Battery critical.
Why, thank you, Janet. Uh, you don't need expert marksmen on Kiev all the way up. Um, so this Leningrad really is my go-to captain for Nevny, Podvoisky, my Gremyashi. I hardly ever play that ship, but I do have it. Um, so if you're looking for kind of a low tier Russian trainer, Leningrad's a hell of a choice. It's a ball to play. It's fast. It's agile. It's got great torps, great guns. Typical Russian menace in the game. And you don't really you just kind of crap on things. I mean, you could easily run IFHE on this, and with this being tier 7, there's a lot of battleships even that have 25 millimeter plating. Your Colorados, things like that you can just rip apart. So a lot of different build options with this ship. So here's a credit page. It's a premium. That's the how much this game brought me, and I'm not. I think I'm not even running any credit multipliers or anything like that on it. So this is just some XP stuff on here. But yeah, it's decent credit earner even without premium. Almost a quarter of a million credits. Not bad. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this game. I hope this video is actually salvageable. If not, we'll be into take 3. So I hope you guys are having a good night. If you have any questions, leave them below, and I'll talk to you later.